Welcome to another one. Today, we're going to talk about identity, and we're going to talk about how to create a new identity and how to change yourself into the man that you want to be to get the girls that you want. Because getting the girl that you want, your personal 10 out of 10, like amazing girls and creating amazing relationships with them and creating connection, it's not that easy if you're you. And this is why you're watching this video. And it's not easy if you're you, not because of what you do. It is because of what you do, but what you do is due to who you are. So getting the girls is not a function of changing what you're doing, but essentially changing who you are. And in this video, we're gonna see exactly what that looks like, give you a kind of a macro bird's eye view, and give you a couple of examples as well from my own personal life, and also like where I'm at right now, like what I'm trying to change. And so let's start here. I'm going to tell you a little story, and then from there, we're going to extrapolate what identity is and how it works and why you need to change your identity and how in order to get the results that you're looking for. Now, I'm into bodybuilding, and you should be too if you're looking to date appropriately, okay, and if you're looking to self-actualize as well and be the best version of yourself. And as I'm into bodybuilding, I go through phases of cutting and bulking sometimes. And last year, I did a 20-pound cut. I went from 185 to 165. I'm not a very tall dude. I'm a standard and modest 5'8". So 185 for me is fairly heavy. And it was fairly easy for me to do. It was not the worst thing. And it took 2 months. 20 pounds for 2 months is a healthy time span. And I lost 20 pounds. I had a number in mind, how much weight I want to lose. And I had a date, the target date, when I want to lose the weight by. And I did this. And it was not such a big deal. And I looked a lot more shredded. Of course, when I finished, I wasn't where I wanted to be. But at the same time, I was a lot lighter, a lot less fat than I started. So I was kind of happy. But it was not the target, the goal. So in a way, you could say I kind of half-assed it. I didn't take it all the way. There was a time where I was kind of happy. I was fairly satisfied. And I was like, okay, good enough. That's not the winner's mentality. That's fucked up. Okay, that's not cool. I want to take it all the way. Now, this summer, I made a decision, and due to that decision, I'm starting to get more and more shredded. The difference between the two decisions, or the two shredding phases, was that the previous year I said, okay, I'm going to do a cut, this is when it ends, and after that date, whatever happens, happens. This year, I don't have an end date in mind. I see it a little differently. I see it from the perspective of identity. Okay. And this is why it's a little more painful, but I suspect the results that I'm going to get are going to be a little more permanent. Here's why. I had an experience that caused me to think that I'm not very satisfied with the way I live my life. And it's these ego crises, these identity crises, these ego checks that will do it for you. Maybe it's a small one, like I went on a vacation and I saw people that had a lot more success than me, and that frustrated me. Or maybe it's a huge one, like a family member dies, God forbid. Where's some wood? Let's knock on some wood. I'm not even superstitious, but I guess now I am. Anyway, and these ego crises are going to ego check you. These identity crises are going to ego check you, are going to give you am I living my life the way I want to be living my life? So this happened to me, and I decided I want to take it to the next level. I want to be a lot more disciplined, get a lot better results. And I was confronted with the pain of living the way I had been living, basically, okay? Which is, hopefully, this is something that's happening to you as well. Because that pain, and I made a different video about this, I'm going to link it up here. That pain is going to motivate you to change. Good. So I decided, okay, one of the things I'm changing is I'm not the guy that eats chocolate anymore. I don't want to be that guy. And I don't want it because it causes me to be fat. It causes me to be soft mentally as well as physically. It causes me, it's something that has its grips on me. I'm dependent on something. I am hooked on something. I'm addicted to something. That's not cool. And it's just not healthy. It's not a very healthy thing to eat chocolate all day. I move a lot, so you can't see it, but I used to eat a lot of chocolate. So fast forward to the present moment. What's happening now is that I wake up in the morning, I have a meal, and after my meal, it's time for dessert. And it's like, fuck, I'm so used to having something sweet after I eat. Where's the sweet thing? And every time I need to hold myself back from reaching into the, or going into the supermarket because there's nothing at home, going to the store and getting some chocolate or ice cream or whatever. This is because I have some momentum as the guy who I've been. I currently still have that momentum. An object in motion tends to stay in motion, and a guy who keeps eating chocolate, who has been eating chocolate, tends to keep eating chocolate. So I'm trying to kill that guy. I have killed that guy. He's just like clinging onto dear life. He's trying to survive. And the difference here is that I'm not saying until August 30th, I'm going to be shredding down, and after that, whatever happens, happens. Now it's a different vibe, and this is why it's so painful to me. This is why I'm struggling, but I'm also winning, okay? It's painful because I didn't say past August 30th, you can be the previous guy again, you're fine. I said, I'm done being that guy. And that guy who's somewhere in me is desperately trying to survive. Okay, so the thing is, and I've had this chat with a couple of clients of mine as well. And by the way, if you want to work with me, link is down in the description below. Your ego and your identity is one of one. It's contained in a vessel, okay? And there is room in this vessel only for one identity. And the reason is that it's practically impossible to be both the guy who eats the ice cream always and the guy who never eats the ice cream, who very rarely eats the ice cream, pragmatically. You're either the one or the other. You cannot be both. Now, like, you can't be Schrodinger's ice cream guy. So your job here essentially is this. You need to start identifying, you need to start adopting habits that make you attractive. You need to start adopting the habits that make you into the guy who gets the girl. And you need to start seeing yourself as that guy. And the change is painful. It's not easy. And I see it sometimes on sales calls for prospective students or students who eventually sign up. They're on the call because they know they cannot keep going, and you're probably going to be the same, right? You know you're going to be on a call with me to start working with me because you know you can't keep going in the same way forever because the pain is just too much. You don't have what you want, and you see other people having what you want, and you know it's somehow possible for you, but you just don't have it right now. And when I talk to you, I will threaten you with, cool, but now we're going to be a different guy. And the guy that you are right now is very, very scared of that. He's scared that he's going to die, and he should be because he will. Like, the version of who you are right now will cease to exist. You will develop into a new version of you. And because of that, you need to make space in that vessel to contain the new version of you, who is the guy with the new habits. But for that, the last guy must die. He must cease to exist. So how does that work? It's very simple. The guy that gets the girl is the guy that has different habits. Because what we do every day creates our identity. Because you are there 100% of the time. So you witness everything that you do. There's no way to escape that. You know exactly who you are and who you've been. And who you've been is going to give you is going to allow you to be expressive to the girl, or he's going to disallow that. He's going to hold you back from that. So the takeaway is what? The takeaway is that you need to start, if you want to get the results that you want, if you want to start being successful with creating connections and relationships with your 10 out of 10 girl, you need to start being a different guy, because the guy that you are today, he's just not getting that. And to start being a different guy, you need to first kill off the previous guy. And it's a painful process. It's a process where every day you want to eat the dessert, and every day, at least for a while, until you get used to being the guy who's not eating dessert anymore, you have to forbid yourself. You have to be stringent and tough on yourself in that way. And you have to then adopt the habits of the attractive guy, of the guy who does have success with women, who does do personal growth, who is growing personally. And then, after a while of having been that guy, the real life results start catching up. So today, I am the guy who doesn't eat chocolate. However, I'm still not at 8% body fat, which is what I want. But I have no end in sight. I have decided to be that guy, and now I'm just that guy. And will I eat chocolate again? Sure, I will, but not from the frame of, oof, I couldn't resist. I just had my weekly allowance of chocolate, and I can't wait for the 7 days to be over so I can have another one. This is not how it goes. This is, I'm going to be the non-chocolate guy from the frame of, enough time has passed where I have held myself back. I have now adopted the new identity of the guy who doesn't need chocolate anymore. And now I can enjoy it whenever I want, which is going to be measured. It's not going to be crazy. The whenever I want is not an excuse to indulge. It's just really to dip my toes. If I see that there's a dessert that's fucking amazing, I'm going to have it. Fuck it. Why not? We can live a little. But until I get there, it's a little bit of a process. But the great thing about it is that with every time I say no, I'm not going to have chocolate, the next time, the next craving is not as bad. When I start killing off my old self, when I start killing off the Alex who needs the chocolate, the first couple of times are pretty easy because there's motivation and there's willpower and it's all good. I'm super happy to not be the chocolate guy. But now it's been a week where I haven't been the chocolate guy anymore. And okay, I'm thinking, okay, I did it. I didn't do the chocolate. Can I have some, some reward now? I want some fucking chocolate. So now the craving is at its very top. It's oh, really? I fucking really need chocolate. And then after I say no, you're not going to have any for a while. The first time, the second time, the third time, then the craving starts going down a little bit until the new ego has formed, the new identity has formed, until I have proven to myself tangibly that I'm the guy that doesn't eat chocolate, until the cravings have gone. When that happens, all the bad vibes are gone. I'm a new me. The vessel has replaced the old me with the new me. And now I'm good to go. So, hope you liked the video. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one.